We are Friday, June 26th, and it's time for the bees again. The day is a bit overcast, not ideal beekeeping temperature, but there's several days of rain ahead, so we make do with what we have. Well, let's start with the red hive. See how they're doing. This should be pretty quick. Keep an eye on their food stores. See if there's eggs, and look out for small hive beetles, and that should be pretty much it. Food is empty. That's a good sign. Now let's have a look, shall we? No trace of small hive beetle on the Swiffer trap. That's very good news. I see some eggs and some syrup on its way to meet cap. This hive is doing pretty great. There's some young larvae in there, as well as capped brood. You can make the easy, you can easily distinguish between the honey, which is paler usually, and the capped brood, which is always tan, light to dark tan. Oh, I love when it's going well like this. Let's remove the old dried out patty. It's almost completely consumed. There's no trace of small hive beetle larvae. They like to lay eggs in pollen patties, and if they do so, there'll be some small hive beetle larvae. There's no maggots in there. It's telling me the hive is pretty healthy. Lots of capped brood. Oh, there's an emerging bee. Let's see if I can get it on camera. It's about here, above my thumb. It's chewing its way out of its cell. The frame is pretty much covered in brood. Not a perfect pattern, but there's a lot of syrup in there. Let's see on the other side. There's a few drone cells. That's good too. Drone cells will stick out more since they're bigger. They make like bullet-shaped cells. Oh, there's a queen cup over here. Let's see. Nothing in there. It looks like a practice cup, or like if I open it up, there's nothing inside, no egg. Let's keep on looking. Practically solid sheet of brood. Population on this hive is about to explode. I'm gonna have to bring them space. Yep, it's full and looking good. From here you can see older capped brood surrounded by younger brood. surrounded by resources. That's a sign of a very healthy hive. So we're going to close them back up. And move on to the next one. This is looking good. I see eggs. It's kind of dark now, and the bees are about to get cranky, so I have to hurry up a bit. So I see eggs. There's no hive beetle. I'll just close them back up and move on to the next one. Now on to the silver hive. Let's see how they're doing. There's a small hive beetle in this sweet fur trap. This tiny little thing is the cause of a lot of beekeeper problems. I have notified the Ministry of Agriculture, and they're gonna send an inspector to see what's happening with those beetles. It is filled with resources, mostly nectar, bit of pollen. I don't know if you can see the patches of orange in the dim light. There's brood and a lot of capped honey, well, syrup. Same on this side, except it's all eggs. Oh yeah, covered in brood. Looking great. That's a solid sheet of capped brood. This hive too is about to explode. Well, it is the moment of truth. Let's see if the virgin queen has returned and started laying eggs. If she hasn't, we'll need to replace her as soon as possible. So let's have a look. They have started drawing the comb on this frame, but I see no evidence of eggs. Filled with syrup, but pretty much nothing else. Only resources. Nothing. This isn't promising. Well, looks like they lost their queen and I'm gonna have to replace her, unfortunately. I'll close them back up. And I'll make sure to order a queen so they survive. And on to the green hive. Let's see how green is doing. Well, syrup all across the top. Well, they were doing pretty well. Let's see the other side. And they started drawing it. So what I'm going to do is put the frame the other way around. That way they're going to start working on the side over here. So things will balance out. This is a nice brood frame. Perfect laying pattern. You can see capped brood in the middle, young brood in a ring around, and resources on the top. This is a very, very healthy frame. I might actually give it to the other bees after making sure the queen is not there, because I think that may have been a possible reason why the green queen was lost. Yeah, it's all covered in brood. What we're going to do is shake off the bees and give Blue a frame of backup. See if we can help them a bit. Making double and triple sure there is no queen on this frame. All right. Going to take an empty frame and give it to the green hive, and the blue hive will get the frame that's full of capped brood. Alright. We're gonna get a queen in probably by tomorrow morning. And giving the blue queen back up in the form of capped brood is going to help her tremendously take over the hive. So we'll give them this. Let's have a look at the next frame. Looking promising already. It's covered in capped brood, bees, and resources. This frame is doing very, very well, actually. I see no eggs though. Maybe the queen's in the bottom chamber. Let's have a look at the other side. Not a perfect pattern, but it's mostly capped. We're about to have a lot of new bees. I'm probably gonna have to bring more room for them. I see some young larvae. But no eggs. Oh, very young stuff over here. We have eggs all across this frame, and it's barely being drawn, so they're hard at work. Well, unfortunately, a blue queen never came back, and unless I get a new queen, the hive's gonna die, so I'll get on that tomorrow. Other than that, it's looking pretty well across the hive. They're all healthy. I did find one small hive beetle, but the Ministry of Agriculture is going to come in during probably next week or the week after to see what's to be done with those. It doesn't look like a bad infestation. I looked through the hive and there was nothing except the one beetle in the trap, but I'll defer to their expert opinion. We'll see you next time, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like.